Hi there, everyone. I am so glad to be talking to you today. I am addressing the students of Art 33, which is intermediate sculpture, which is very exciting. It means that if you're in this class, this is not your first three-dimensional rodeo. That means that you have taken at least one other sculpture class. You are taking this class in an interesting environment. You will be one of three classes being simultaneously taught by me, your professor, Marc Lancet. And so you have the sculpture class, which is going to be doing mixed media and ceramic work. And then you have the exclusively ceramic sculpture class. And then we have your class all happening at once. What you do, you have quite a range of choice. You can follow some or both of the curriculum assignments in either of those classes. So you can do a little bit of 31, a little bit of 33 or 34, the ceramic sculpture or the regular sculpture, or you can do all of one and on just the other, just kind of do your own version of those. Or, and here is another exciting idea, you can pursue your own art using me as your consultant. So you can, if you're a ceramic sculptor, you can just pursue that, and you do not have to pay attention to my assignments because you're intermediate and you've taken some sculpture and you may have your own ideas to pursue. And that's true if you want to work in another media other than clay as well. So this is really your creative playground. This canvas shell that you're now looking at, if you're looking at this video, is here only as an additional supplement to the class. There's very few things that you're required to do on it. One of them I would like you to do is to type in a little self-introduction so other people can see you and meet you. And we'll do a little bit of that in class as well. But there's a section where you can introduce yourself and mention your favorite artist or your favorite quote and things like that. Put a portrait of yourself, whether it's drawn or symbolic or an actual photograph, that sort of thing. And then the other thing that'll happen on this for sure is that when we get later in the class, there's a book we're reading called Feel Like an Artist. And when you get to that book, I will have on this canvas shell a section where you can go in and add a little 2-page essay about the book, or whatever the assignment. I'll have some kind of assignment related to the reading. So that's what's coming up for you with this shell. But the thing that happens, thing to note, this is a face-to-face class. The shell is here as using the online capacity we now are getting good at to augment your experience, but you are not in any way required to do more than those two little items. Everything else you do is in class, and that's what the class focus and grading is on. So for you, as you've heard, you have lots of range of ideas. I can show you a few things here. You know, there's so many possibilities. And I just like to hold up art and talk about it. This is a beautiful piece by a professor who's now in the Midwest and who was our lab technician, Kat Cox, and who's also taught for us. A wonderful artist who works she uses lots of color. She uses she works delicately, small and precisely. And so that, you know, teaching us once again that bigger is bigger and better is better, that there's no idea of that scale is significant in these things. Here's a lovely little clay bird figure that I was given by a Swedish artist when I worked with her in Portugal last summer. And this was a gift from her, and it's such a lovely, you just love to hold it in your hands. Just this little tiny bird, kind of very abstract, that she makes these and enjoys them quite a bit. Here's an assemblage, a mixed media piece that I've made recently, and you can see it starts with the central core structure is a chair, or I think it might be a table leg. On the bottom is what's called a lock washer. It's a very large one, a very heavy one, so it adds a lot of stability. And at the top here is an old Kodak film can that I found walking in a field once, and I've loved this little piece and held on to it for a long time because it's just a piece of trash that has so much history and it's kind of anachronistic now. And then at the very top is a little piece I made. I did a workshop with a friend of mine, Dick Notkin, who's an amazing artist. And his prompt for us, he handed out 1 cubic inch of clay and gave us 4 hours to work and said, just this is all you get is this clay, and what can you do with it? So I made this little hand with this little head in it. And I kept that around for some years and then thought, well, I'll put it on top of this. So that's an example of assemblage. And assemblage, I didn't pay for anything in there. All of that was found material, and that's an option you can do as well. Here, this is something we don't do bronze casting, but I thought I'd point out that we can do ceramic sculpture, and this is such a lovely figure, and it was made by my main mentor when I was in graduate school, a man named Robert Thomas, a fabulous sculptor. And I show that because all these things I've shown you are things I value, that you can see around my house. I have lots of art, things that I cherish. I really do cherish. From this lovely painting. This is a painting of, you can barely make it out in this film, but painting by Adam Wolpert, the fabulous painter in Occidental. And the image, if you could see it, is of one of my tea bowls. And then there's lots of my tea bowls there. And here's another painting by Adam Wolpert. That's a landscape of the land he lives in Occidental. So, I live with art, and all of these things feed me in a very powerful way. They are nurturing. And I think that's what you're about. When you get into this class and you start making your work, you're making things that you invest a lot of perhaps soul or energy or spirit or power or just creative insight into, and you make these objects, and hopefully they will bring joy to someone, that you're creating things that people will want to bring into their lives. So that's what we're about. And I look forward to being about it with you. So in this semester, let's just look forward to working a lot together. I hope you will stay very safe and make lots and lots of art.